Hey, how's it going, bros and girls? Michael is back with a new reaction. Today, we're gonna be reacting to 100 Years of Airplane Food by Patrick Zeiland. Last time we did react to 100 Years of School Lunches, and you guys really loved that video so much. Look at this, guys. That video got over 21 views and about 4 likes. You guys are smashing the like button on that video. Thank you so much for watching that video. You guys are insane. And today we're gonna be reacting to how airplane food was back in the 1900s up until today. We're gonna find out. But before we actually started, make sure to drop a big thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Turn on the little bell so you get notified of my future videos. And if this video gets enough likes, I'll react to 100 Years of Jail Food, also by Patrick Zeiland. I'm gonna be reacting to that video, only this video gets enough likes. And without further saying, let's react to it right now.
Con le tue recensioni
Today we're going to be recreating and tasting 100 years of airplane food. And yeah, I rented this entire plane
just for this video.
Starting off with 1910, where a plane ticket
only cost $5, and this is what airplanes look like.
1910 were the early days of commercial flights, and in-flight amenities were limited due to the limited space on the aircraft. Most airlines didn't even serve any food to its passengers.
So a lot of people just brought on their own lunch.
The flights were super short in distance. On average, it's about 140 miles. So a lot of passengers just brought on simple foods.
So for 1910, airline food was a simple sandwich, fresh fruits, and a cookie.
All right, here's the food from 1910.
And he invited his friend Kareem to come taste test all the decades with him, and we're gonna rate this 1 plane out of 5 planes. All right, let's take a bite.
Let's take a bite.
Not bad.
The flights weren't that long, so people would bring sandwiches just to keep them over. I would be happy with this.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a basic sandwich, but honestly, it's pretty good. I mean, it's a classic.
Of course, sandwiches are always a classic dish. Yep.
And I don't know why they brought fresh fruits, but I'll be happy.
I'll be happy today too.
And of course they had a cookie, which is a cookie. We all know what it tastes like. You know, I mean, for it being like one of the early flights and people bringing like a simple sandwich on board, it's not bad. I mean, I rate this a 2.5 planes out of 5.
Oh, really?
I thought it was pretty gas. It was pretty simple. I'd give it a 3 out of 5 planes.
I'll give this also a 3 out of 5 planes.
Great, yeah. All right, let's go see what 1920 has for us.
Let's go.
We're now in the 1920s.
Where a plane ticket costs only $60, and this is what airplanes look like.
The 1920s, airplanes introduced cabin crew to assist passengers
During flights.
Since airplanes were relatively new, the flight experience was not pleasant at all, and meals were actually served as a distraction. Meals were usually cold because you couldn't have heavy equipment on the plane, and weight was such a factor that they had to weigh every passenger before they were able to board the plane.
So in the 1920s, airline food was cold fried chicken, a fruit cocktail, a chocolate bar, and hot tea.
We made it to the 1920s, and they had cold fried chicken.
They had to be cold because they didn't even have anything. They don't have anything on board to heat it up.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro. Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, it's the 1920s. Like I said, this is when cabin crew was around
To serve people.
So this would definitely distract me from all that plane noise and turbulence, scariness during the 1920s.
It's fire.
They also served up some chocolate as dessert.
The dark chocolate is fire. Bro, the dark chocolate is so good. It's my favorite
I
chocolate.
love dark chocolate as well.
Good, dude. I actually really like this meal.
I would be happy. I mean,
The fruit cocktail,
I think it's
a little bit too done on the sugar. Like we already have the dessert, and they give you the fruit cocktail. It's a little too sweet.
Let's have a little sip of tea.
the tea is a nice beverage to have. I mean, this is the 20s. I know this is cold, but I rate this dish a 3 planes out of 5.
3 planes out of 5.
Pretty mid, pretty mid. I'm gonna give this a 3.5 out of 5.
I'm also gonna give this a 3.5 out of 5 because it's fried chicken, my boy, and I love me some good old fried chicken. Absolutely, especially KFC. They have some good fried chicken.
So let's hop into 1930, where food gets a little bit
let's
better.
go.
We're now in the 1930s.
Where Disney introduced Mickey Mouse, plane tickets cost about $75, and this is what airplanes look like. In the 1930s, airlines were still serving up cold meals.
But some airlines started experimenting with more advanced dining experiences like an elaborate lounge, and that provided more room for passengers to move around and mingle.
Can you just imagine being in a lounge on a plane? So in the 1930s, airline food was cold roasted chicken, vegetable salad, a bread roll, vanilla pudding, and milk. So this is what they had in the 1930s. The chicken was still cold because they didn't even have anything on board to heat it up. Let's give it a shot.
Alright, they're doing it to us a little bit.
Yeah.
Boring salad, you know.
I like the 1920s.
I like the 1920s where we had fried chicken.
You know? So
Let's go ahead and try our cold rotisserie, cold roasted chicken.
I'm not looking forward to this.
Ah.
Bro, it's so cold. It's slimy too.
Let's give it a shot. I like it hot better.
It's like cold roasted chicken. It's kind of slimy.
Yeah.
But like, think about it. In the 1930s, they didn't really know.
What do you mean? They had taste buds.
And then they gave like a piece of bread, which is like
Boring.
But you know what's interesting? I think even just the concept of airfare was so new at this time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
Yeah.
interesting because like now they're giving food, so people are probably like pretty excited, honestly.
definitely. And
Definitely.
They also gave, like vanilla pudding.
And like you gotta assume like bro, the richest people were flying. It wasn't like any, you know. It was like the richest people.
So
Yeah,
they didn't
like,
even care about the food because it was like a status at the time. You're
Yeah,
right.
bro.
yeah, bro.
So the 1930s, I'm gonna rate this food a 1 out of 5.
1 out of 5.
Yeah.
Bro, that's brutal.
That's
Yeah,
brutal.
This whole plate is just kind of boring to me. I don't know.
It's boring to me too, but at the same time, I feel like I'm getting like healthy food out of this. I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3.
It's boring to me too, but at the same time, they're getting like healthy food out of this. I'm gonna give this a 3 planes out of 5. I'm gonna give it a 3. I wouldn't be mad at this.
I guess. Well,
Let's hop over to 1940 and see if it's any better. Let's go.
This is the beginning.
This is the beginning of World War II. A plane ticket cost about $95, and this is what planes look like. The 1940s was the end of cold food and the introduction of eating elements like a microwave. During this decade, airline cabins were now pressurized, which meant they could fly in a higher altitudes and way longer distance.
And because of that, airlines were now offering way more amenities than ever before.
So in the 1940s, airline food was frozen meals, usually meat, mashed potatoes and vegetables, a cookie, and hot tea.
I'm not excited about trying this out.
Oh, what is this?
Like slop.
Yeah, look at that. Listen, I think they were just excited because they're like, we could finally have hot food on the plane.
Yes.
It has this weird like bouncy texture. Like it feels like I'm literally eating a flip flop. Like I don't know.
All right, let's try the. Okay, you want to try the corn?
corn. Yeah,
Corn is corn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they nailed it on that one.
corn is corn.
And then let's try their dessert because it would all come in one pack anyway. So
All right, go. What is that?
It's
like an apple dessert?
applesauce.
dessert, yeah.
Apple dessert.
It's not bad. The apples really feel like.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's soft.
Listen, if anything, I'm happy that they at least included a chocolate chip cookie and some tea. I think.
Yeah, I think I'll be happy and skip to those
This is
instead
really
of
saving
this.
the day right here, honestly. Without that and that, without the corn, bro, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, I know my number. We're gonna say it at the same
Yes.
Say it at the same time.
time. All right, 3, 2, 1.
0!
I didn't know we could do 0. All right, yeah, so 0.
I would have probably just left the air.
I would have honestly parachuted down at this point.
I would have parachuted down and left. Let's just hop over to 1950 and see what that was all about.
I really hope to give us like a better experience.
We're now in the
We're now in the 1950s. I Love Lucy just debuted. A plane ticket is about $105, and this is what planes look like. In the 1950s, planes had full-blown kitchens on the plane. So the meals actually got way more interesting and complex.
In this decade, air travel became way more accessible to the general public, and airlines saw an increased number in passengers. And that led to even more amenities like alcohol being served on the plane.
So in the 1950s, airline food was pasta, a charcuterie plate, ice cream, and alcohol.
1950s looks absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and give this a try. Cheers.
Cheers. I mean, I'm happy.
If I'm on the plane,
If I
and
get some pasta like that,
It's so creamy and delicious, and they also gave us a charcuterie. They gave us a sick ass
go ahead and
charcuterie.
give this a try.
Oh, we gotta do 1 cheese, 1 salami here.
Wrap
Let's
it
roll
up.
it up.
cheers.
You can't beat this decade right here.
No, you can't beat it.
This decade.
I'm having a great time on the plane.
I wish the plane ride would last forever.
Because we got
Some whiskey here.
I don't know about all that, but. Oh, I hate whiskey. Oh.
Let me show you how a real man does it.
Exquisite. Got some ice cream right here?
And yes, we got some ice cream just to finish everything off.
Oh, yeah.
I'm loving this decade.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready to go ahead and give this decade a 5 points.
I'm also loving this decade so much. I'm also gonna give this decade a 5 planes.
Number one. This is getting a 4 out of 5 for me. 4 points.
All right, let's go into 1960s and hopefully let's go into the 1960s and hopefully that this guy gives it a 5-star.
1960s, we're now in the hippie movement. A plane ticket
Costs about $120, and this is what planes look like.
In the 1960s, airline food got even better.
Some airlines even hire some professional chefs to be on board and prepare the meals.
Not only did airlines have a wide variety of meats like steaks and turkey, but they also served cigarettes with your meal.
And yes, you were allowed to smoke cigarettes on planes in the 1960s. So in the 1960s, airline food was steak, carrots and asparagus, pastries, milk, and a cigarette.
Dude, this looks phenomenal.
But what they want to point out, guys, is that every meal in the 1960s was served with a cigarette. A cigarette. Yeah, fuck that cigarette.
They served it on the plane, so.
Oh my god, this steak looks absolutely incredible, amazing.
Cheers, man.
You fly here often?
This is absolutely fire.
Asparagus and carrots.
I'm sorry, it complements it perfectly.
Yeah, this is the perfect meal.
When you're flying on the plane.
I would be absolutely happy. And a little bit of pastry on the side.
Yeah, the pastry is good.
Incredible.
Let's try it.
I mean,
We gotta wash it down with a little bit of milk, you know?
The milk was a weird option to put on with the side of steak.
but
What you mean with the pastry, bro?
you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they weren't worried about the steak. I mean,
If I gave last decade a 5 planes, I'm also gonna give this decade a 5 planes because it's absolutely amazing.
Is this gonna get the 5 for me?
Ooh.
It gets a 5!
All right, let's go into the 70s and see if it's any better. Let's go into the 70s and see if it's any better.
into the 1970s.
The Beatles just broke up.
A plane ticket
Cost about $150, and this is what planes look like.
The 1970s was the peak of airline food.
I mean, they were serving lobsters on board
This was also the decade where they introduced snack service in between meals.
to keep passengers happy.
The 70s had elegant and beautiful lounges and even a piano bar on the plane.
So in the 1970s, airline food was lobster, rice, chocolate pudding, peanuts, and soda.
1970, it actually looks amazing. They actually had chefs on board on the plane. Let's go ahead and dig in.
We're eating
Yeah,
lobster tonight.
we're eating lobster. Amazing. I would definitely try some
They
lobster.
serve that up with some rice. Complements the lobster
Wait.
pretty well.
I'm definitely putting
Yes,
lobster on rice.
lobster and rice is the perfect combination.
That lobster and rice has the perfect combo.
Bro,
to it.
it's so good.
And they served it up with some like chocolate pudding, which I don't know how it goes really well.
But it's a
with,
great dessert to
lobster,
have.
but
And the peanuts too? The peanuts go crazy.
Not bad.
Yup.
To be honest with you, this meal for me, it's not the best, but it's pretty good for airplane food. So
Yup.
I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 3.5 planes.
3.5 planes?
3.5 planes out of 5.
Yeah, I'm not a lobster guy, really. You know.
Hmm.
Bro, it's crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 4 out of 5 because, bro, I'm eating lobster and rice with a pudding and peanuts, bro. You
Fair
kidding
enough.
me?
Yeah, I'm also gonna give this decade 4 planes because eating lobsters on plane is definitely fire. I wish they would serve it
Lavish in the
today.
skies, bro. I wish they served this today.
They can't. It's
can't.
impossible.
But let's go ahead and see what the 80s has for us.
Let's go.
1980s were
1980s, where waterbeds were super popular, a plane ticket cost about around $200, and this is what a plane looked like.
in the 1980s.
In the 1980s,
Air travel was in high demand, which meant airlines were trying to find ways to cut costs. airline CEO saved the company $40,000 a year by removing a single olive from their meals. Due to higher demands and cost-cutting measures, dining on airlines became less glamorous and the food was really basic.
So in the 1980s, airline food was spaghetti, vegetables, brownies, pretzels, and a soda.
Quality of food was starting to decrease here
Because of budget cuts.
So I'm not excited for this one, but
Let's give it a shot.
What happened, bro? We were doing so good.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit. I mean, how we go from having lobster to this?
It's so underwhelming. Like, you have just plain veggies. I mean, get me off that plane.
A pretzel?
Yeah. They switched it from peanuts to pretzels because of the
peanut allergy.
So
you can tell something happened. Something must have shifted. I don't know.
and the only thing I would be looking forward to is always the desserts.
The brownies.
Brownie, easy brownie.
Delicious.
Brownie, yeah, pretty good. Struggle meal right here.
But I'm gonna go ahead and rate this decade a 1 plane out of 5.
1 plane out of 5?
Yeah. It's so underwhelming.
You know what? I'm gonna give this.
I'm also gonna give this decade
a
1 out of 5 too, because
it's just
this
carb
is
heavy,
boring.
some veggies. I'm just not that.
I'm not
impressed by
that impressed by this.
Yeah, this is what happens when you try to save money. Well, let's hope the 90s get just a tad bit better.
I really hope.
so.
Let's go.
We made it to my favorite decade.
1990.
Where NSYNC was formed.
And an
A plane
average
ticket cost
and a plane ticket costs about $245, and this is what planes look like.
in the
In the 1990s, airlines saw the significant increase of customers, which meant they had to serve all the foods at the timely fashion. And they were actually serve McDonald's to save on cooking
and
and reheating time.
So in the 1990s, airline food was McDonald's cheeseburger, McDonald's fries, applesauce, raisins, and a McDonald's milk.
And yes, guys, they did have fast food on the planes. And if you guys remember in the school lunch video in the 90s, also Patrick's school was serving McDonald's as well. Crazy, right? If I was in the 1990s and they gave me McDonald's on the plane, I would be literally living lavish in the skies. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a McDonald's
This is what
cheeseburger.
America was built on, right?
We also got some McDonald's French fries.
Easy money.
This decade is lacking on the dessert though, because we have
Some applesauce here for dessert.
Kind of lame, but you know, and the snack that they served at the time were raisins.
Raisins.
I actually really hate raisins. It's my
I never really tried raisins.
ever.
I like raisins. They're all right. They're pretty cute. Hey, so Pat, what would you rate this?
Well,
Since McDonald's is one of my most favorite fast foods, I'm gonna give this a 5 planes out of 5.
absolutely
Because you can't go wrong with McDonald's.
If I was on a plane and I got McDonald's, I'd be over the moon. So this gets a 5 out of 5.
Yeah!
Hop into the next decade.
Let's hop into the next decade.
The 2000s.
Welcome to the 2000s, where video games saw a rise in popularity. A plane ticket cost about $350, and a plane looked like this. But guys, the 2000s was actually a little bit of a somber decade.
Because of 9/11, there was an increase in security which changed how food would be served on planes. No more metal utensils, only plastic. There was limited food choice to minimize potential security risks, and all the meals had to be pre-packed before they board the plane. So in the 2000s, airline food was
Grilled chicken, mashed potatoes, vegetables, chocolate mousse, and a soda. We made it to the 2000s, guys, and like I said, this is actually a little bit of a somber decade. This is when 9/11 happened, and the restrictions on food
got even
higher.
Things had to be really.
Things have to be really simple by that time.
The security was
at
an all-time high.
out of all time.
So
Yeah.
let's give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I love some grilled chicken.
Can't be mad at that.
Good protein.
Great protein.
Great if you hit the gym or something, you know?
A little boring, but again, like you guys have to think about it. A lot of people were afraid to fly at this decade because. So I don't think food was like it was just like just get me fed. Let's just get to our destination. You know, but listen, the touch that they gave was at least the chocolate mousse. Like they gave out chocolate mousse. I love chocolate mousse. So
I never tried that.
that in itself, I'm excited for.
I don't really care for chocolate mousse.
Wow.
I don't like creamy things in my mouth like that, you know?
Everything considered with this decade, I give this a rating of a 3 plane out of 5. Decent meal, gets you fed,
satisfies you.
I mean, I can see what you're saying, but in terms of how it tasted, this is a 2 out of 5 for me. I'm super bored.
Yeah, I'm also gonna give this. I give this 4 planes out of 5 because this definitely gets you fed and hits you to the gym. That's right.
I mean, you can't beat the 90s, you know?
You can't really beat the McDonald's.
Yep, I love McDonald's.
Well, let's hop into our last decade
And see if it's any
I'm
better.
excited. Let's go.
Oh, we just arrived to our last decade. Oh, we just arrived to our last decade, the 2010s, where Instagram was born. An average plane ticket cost about $450, and a plane looked like this. In the 2010s,
more airlines started accommodating for special dietary restrictions. The option for snacks improved due to the lack of taste in the meals. On-demand dining became more popular, and passengers didn't have to wait for set times to eat dinner. But that would also come at a premium price. So in the 2010s,
airline food was a veggie sandwich, yogurt, Biscoff cookies, and water.
We have finally made it to our last decade.
The 2010s.
Go ahead and
They got actually a little bit healthy with this one. We got yogurt, a veggie sandwich, some good cookies, and water. Let's give it a shot.
Veggie sandwich. I'm so excited. Hey, the crunch though? That's
Hear
a
the
premium
crunch? Oh, slow down.
I gotta say, I'm surprised.
That low-key slaps.
It's super refreshing. It's very light. I can see myself liking this on the plane because then I'm not sitting there feeling heavy.
Yeah.
And
No.
then also the introduction of Biscoff cookies. If you guys fly frequently, you guys know these cookies. They're absolutely delicious.
These cookies are banging.
Oh,
That little cinnamon hit.
Yep.
Crazy.
amazing. Yeah.
Crazy.
Love that. They got a side of yogurt
Yep. Yogurt is healthy.
Yogurt's
and
delicious.
water. Like this
And we
is
got
It's
some
simple.
water.
It's actually
very
pretty
simple.
good.
Can it be better? Can it be pizza? Yes, it can.
Could
But
have been pizza,
I'm gonna
but
go ahead and go right down the middle and give this a 2.5 out of 5.
I get where you're coming from, but honestly, I'm giving this a 3.5 out of 5. And the
Oh,
reason for that is because if I'm a vegetarian right now, I'm over the moon. I'm getting
Yeah.
lotus cookies,
Yeah.
I'm getting yogurt, I'm getting a little like veggie sandwich. Like
Yeah.
it's easy.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
yeah, it's not bad. I also give this 3.5 planes because it's absolutely delicious. Here's the veggie sandwich, the cookies, the yogurt, and the water definitely keeps you healthy.
For sure.
Cool. And that was 100 years of airplane food. Let me know which one was your favorite decade, and I gotta go return this plane, so I'll see you in the next one.
Alright guys, and that was 100 years of airplane food. Let me know down in the comment section which decade and which food was your favorite. Right down below. And now Patrick has got to return the plane because he rented it for the video. And this video wraps up right here. If you guys want to see 100 years of jail food by Patrick, make sure to drop a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Turn on the little bell so you get notified. And let me know down in the comment section which decade was your favorite. Right, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys and girls, I love you all.